back on the American Dream Business Roundtable, and you know, I love that American Dream idea. It makes me get so excited, but we didn't say, and we didn't tell what the website is for your baseball tournament business. What is it?
It's sandlottournaments.com. And Sandlot, of course, you know that that's kind of associated with youth baseball.
That's right. Now, Greg, let's talk about the Excelsior Institute, both of you actually, because I think you were both with SCORE, weren't you?
I'm a SCORE volunteer. I don't think...
No, I'm not.
You're not. And it's so important because there's so many people, we had talked about this on Born Before 64, that have gone back, either they were laid off or they didn't want to retire or whatever, but they didn't know where to go for help. And so they went to SCORE. But you came up with a better solution? Different solution.
Different.
Different.
Let's
not better. Different. Okay.
I don't want to...
you don't want to get SCORE mad at you.
Well, I don't want to say anything derogatory. But they're a wonderful group. For those people who aren't familiar, SCORE is a sister organization to the Small Business Administration. They've been around since 1964, and it's totally volunteer. And it's originally it was made up of retired executives. And they're kind of pulling away from that model because of all the technological changes that have occurred over the years. You know, if somebody's retired, if he's out of the job for even a couple years, how much is he going to know about social media? Because it changes so rapidly. And so they're trying to recruit people who are still in the business, so to speak. And part of the reason that we saw a need is that I've been to every boot camp class. That's what they've come to call these entrepreneurship classes. And in my opinion, they've all fallen short for various reasons. Some are geared towards IPOs, and there are many many entrepreneurs and small business owners that they're never going to go to an initial public offering. And so it's kind of a waste to talk all about how to do an initial public offering if, you know, most of the time you're not going to do that. And anyway, so one of the programs that we're working on right now at the Excelsior Institute is an Incubator Accelerator program. And the core part of that is a boot camp class, very in-depth, 12 weeks long, that it's very comprehensive, so we feel that any entrepreneur who takes this class will be very well suited for what I call hitting the ground running when it's time to start their business. And we have a number of service providers. Tom is one of them in the marketing arena, and other ones who provide different kinds of aids to small business owners, including you, Kathryn.
Thank you.
And so we're there ready to help these young entrepreneurs. I misspoke. I said young entrepreneurs.
Don't say young, because everybody is an entrepreneur, right?
Well, and
Even
I've come
me?
to learn that
Right?
quite a few entrepreneurs are not young.
No, they're not. They're mature.
I think 25% of them are over 55, and another 25% are between 45 and 55. And so they're really all over the age bracket. You know, there are youngsters, I'll call them, but there are oldsters too who are trying to find their way after maybe a career in the corporate world. But you want to?
Yeah, I wanted to add something to what you said, because I think it's an important point. When Greg was talking about the boot camp, we do something a little bit different in the boot camp. When a student, if you will, finishes the boot camp, they leave with a website, with an entity, with a business plan, with a marketing plan. And so they leave with all these things that really
with
are...
a logo and graphics,
yes,
and trade dress and
everything
all those
you
things.
need. So you are...
Patents, whatever it is.
You are
Yes.
more than ready to start your business.
Right.
And most boot camps just tell you about that stuff. We actually do it. And that's a
With
huge
you,
difference.
with you,
With
Yes.
with you.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. And that would be really something that's so different from everybody else, because usually you have to do all that yourself. And you usually have to think, well, what am I going to do next?
Well, the other
Right?
part of this equation is the financing. Some of these boot camp classes, okay, now that you're done with the education, go out and try and find some money. We have a different approach. We're going to bring all different kinds of financing into the classroom so they can learn about 401k financing or
Franchising?
licensing,
Right.
Accounts receivable financing, angel investing, venture capital, sweat equity financing. There's so many different ways, so many different approaches to getting the funding. And for those folks who have a real, that they're ready, once we get them out of the class, some still will not be totally ready. But for the ones that are, from there we're going to nurture them, is the best word I've come up with. We're going to hold their hands and make their businesses successful. We will do the things that are necessary to get their products on the shelves, to get their names out there, make the connections that they need in order to make them successful.
And you're helping with marketing on this part of it, aren't you?
Well, yeah, a lot of the things we talked about today, and obviously much more in depth.
Right.
It's so important to have your strategy right before you go out and do it.
Well, I have to tell you, I have to share this with you because it's pretty exciting. You know, I work with a lot of entrepreneurs and a lot of inventors. And today I got a really nice compliment from a gentleman that I sent my proposal to. And he said, after I printed it out, there were 8 pages. And I said, well, I covered everything, didn't I? He said, yes, that's what sold me on you. And he said, my wife loved it, and you kept the price just right. And I said, I want to grow with you. I want to keep you for a while because I want you to be successful. And I think that's part of it, don't you?
Well, yeah, it's the passion to help people. And I keep coming back to that word because I do believe it's important.
And I'd like to, for a moment, talk about putting your team together. There are people out there, and I'll call them predators, who will be more than happy to help you. You know, they'll be more than happy to lighten your wallet a little bit and not really do much for it.
Right.
In terms of helping you with a business plan, first of all, if somebody says that they can write a business plan for you, run like the dickens, because that's just not possible. Nobody can do that for you. It's a collaboration. They have to tell you, and you can work with them. But that's part of the reason why we started the Excelsior Institute, is that we see and hear so many tales of people, for one reason or another, got hooked up with the wrong person, and their dream is now over in the trash can. And we don't like that idea. We want to pull it out of the trash can if we can. But anyway, we want to partner with them, make a little bit of money from them over the long haul, rather than a killing from them, you know, in 2 weeks and then never see the people again. Our strategy, I think, is a better one for the entrepreneur. Clearly, I think it's better for us. And I would just love to see some of our ideas really take hold and make Cincinnati the entrepreneur haven that it really deserves to be.
Well, actually, we're the invention capital, it seems like. I don't know if you remember some of the different reality shows that have actually started here with the Inventors Group. But how do we summarize everything today? Because we're running out of time, gentlemen.
Well, summarize, I don't know that we can cover all the bases here, but I would like to point everybody to our website so that our viewers can get additional information. They can go to the Excelsior Institute website and maybe sign up. We have a challenge at work right now. What we did is we asked all our service providers to come up with questions that they would need to have answers to, and we ended up creating like a 30-page assessment. How can you build your business and provide answers if you don't even know what the questions are. And that's what this assessment questionnaire is. It's a listing of all the kinds of things that the experts ask. And so we challenge every viewer out there to go to the Excelsior Institute, download that assessment, look at that, and then get back in touch with us. See when our boot camp class is going to be offered. By the way, it's called BOSS, the Business Optimization Success System. And I've written a book that goes along with it. It's this morning it was 650 pages. It's designed, it really isn't that hard reading. It was designed to be a reference material. Well, it's sad to say, but in this day and age, you have to know these things.
That's true. That's true. And you know, I want to thank you, Tom, for coming tonight and being with us, because you're part of this whole organization. And I wish you so much luck with the Sandlot venture and your wonderful company. And I know that you can actually write to us at
the Excelsior Institute?
That's right. Or
Digital Vision Marketing.
Right. And you know, the interesting thing is the next few weeks of our shows, we are going to have different people with different businesses and entrepreneurs, which I'm very excited about. And maybe we should invite some of the Sandlot people, right, to come on board. Or we've got a wonderful gal named P.N. Everson Price, who is an entrepreneur herself and a star that's coming on in April. How about that?
Well, maybe we'll bring a couple of the baseball teams in here.
Right, that would be great, wouldn't it?
Well, thank you very much for having me,
really
Greg
appreciate it. Thank
and
you so
Kathryn. I
much.
really appreciate it.
And thank you for being the co-host of our wonderful American Dream Business Roundtable. And you want to give those websites out one more time.
Go ahead, Tom.
Digitalvisionmarketing.com and sandlottournaments.com.
And mine is the EdgarAllenGroup.com and the ExcelsierInstitute.org.
Right. And don't forget to go to KathrynRaaker.com to see everything that we do under the Tri-State Connection and all of our other brands under the brand of Kathryn Raaker. And we'll see you next time on the American Dream Business Roundtable.